Canada Halloween weekend to see Van Halen in concert at their hockey arena that was closing, and I ended up watching the Frankenstein movie that Gene Wilder is in at my hotel. I'm Frankenstein. Yeah. All right, there's my Simpson couch gate besides my costume. The Scream movie. Yeah, I bring it out once a year, so yay for that. It still fits. I've had it for 20 years. So we'll get right to it. I'm known as the bank employee, so that means Tales from the bank, like Tales from the Crypt. I have two this week that are notable, where, of course, some people are easier to deal with at work than others. That's to be expected, but the one I have to work with the most can be the toughest to deal with. And I'd like to think I learned something this week about making my life easier, because I say I have checks to pick up, and then she'll say back by instant message, I'll be right down to pick them up, and then she doesn't pick them up right away.
If it gets close, just text me.
I had a meeting to attend, so I said, I'm going to a convention soon, so you'll be waiting for a while if you come during that. And she picked them up right away. And then she said, I thought you were going to a convention. And I said, I put it in quote marks, didn't I? That's what I've called meetings for a while, because convention makes it sound more classy, because conventions are at hotels. I'd like to think that I could just say, I'm going to a meeting soon, and I'll get picked up right away. I'll have to try that more often to see if it works. But either way, it's like, well, if somebody wants to pick up a check bad enough, they're going to. So it's all about motivation. I know that's what I said before. All I've liked in life is motivation. What do most criminals have? Motive. Yeah, I have to be careful when I talk about that when I say I'm lacking a motive. But no criminal record.
Yes.
So, yay, I guess I'm doing just fine. Yes, other bank story. I sometimes have to send things by UPS, but this week it was a rare one. Send a box by UPS because a colleague was quitting and they wanted to send their belongings to where they were moving to in Wisconsin. It's like, okay. Originally it's like, well, they put a sticky note saying what their address was, and it's like, I figured that meant send it regular mail. No, we want to track it. Okay. And that meant I made a special trip to a UPS retail location before I went home at the end of the night, and I'm going to remember for trying to cross the street, and somebody actually honked their horn at me even though I was going at a pretty good clip, pretty good pace walking across the street. And it's like, I even said it loud enough, I don't know if they heard it, where I actually said, pedestrians have the right of way, asshole. I mean, that just boggles the mind that someone would actually honk their horn when I'm crossing the street. I'm actually making a concerted effort to do something, more than a concerted effort. Weird people out there. So there's the bank stories. And this weekend I did go to something Halloween themed. I went to the Twin Cities Horror Festival. I saw a play about St. Paul gangsters in the 1920s. And it was weird. Sometimes they have disclaimers, warnings, no problem there. But this was one I had never heard of before. It was an intimate venue, to say the least. I mean, I was in the front row, and I could have easily touched the performers because I was that close to them. It was that intimate of a venue. And that it also meant it was that intimate where, sitting in the front row, they actually had scraps of paper that said, there's a splatter risk if you sit in these seats. And it's like, okay, I guess it's a horror festival after all, but I just never seen that before, so I didn't know how to respond to that. But no, nothing got splattered, so yay for that. And even if it did, it wasn't going to be real blood, so yay for that too. And then, there was more to do. I do eat like most people, except I usually don't do the formal sit-down dinners that much, but I went to a festival a month ago, and I got a discount on a dinner because I signed up a month in advance, and it was a pretty good dinner. It was pork schnitzel with potato salad and I guess what they call apple strudel. and it was kind of funny at the end where there was a door prize, and they just went by people's birthdays. Who had a birthday recently, in the past day or past week or so? And I felt like saying, keep going until you get to March when my birthday is. I didn't say that, I was just thinking it, but you know what? Somebody actually spoke up and said, keep going until February, that's when my birthday is. And I didn't find out if he got it, but I guess that's the squeaky wheel syndrome if he did, because I didn't hear anybody else speak up. And yeah, it would have been worth it because it was a free ticket to their next meal, and that was like a $30 value. I mean, yeah, that really would have been worth it. And then after that, I went to a grocery store to pick up a few things, and I mean, I just like being able to zip through, and I'm just minding my own business, and most of the time. But sometimes I still have to deal with stupid comments from other people. I had 5 items, and it wasn't that big of a deal. I was just carrying them. I didn't have a basket or a cart or anything like that. And somebody said, "You need a cart." And I paused for a moment, and then I said, "I haven't dropped anything yet." And it goes back to people saying, you need to do this or do that or buy this or buy that. And it's like, well, if you think I need something bad enough, do it for me. And that's the sad thing about opinions, like somebody once said. They're like assholes. Everybody has them, and they're cheap. Yeah, that old saying about talk is cheap. So are opinions, sadly. Well, I guess that'll do it for me. I think you'll have been great.